Welcome to my new theme park attraction series. My name is Disney Dave, and I will be your guide on this fascinating story of Walt Disney and the English Alice.
All who come to this happy place, welcome.
The concept for Disneyland began when Walt Disney was visiting Griffith Park in Los Angeles with his daughters Diane and Sharon. While watching them play the merry-go-round, he came up with the idea of a place where adults and their children could go and have fun together, although his dream lay dormant for many years. The earliest documented draft of Disney's plans was sent as a memo to the studio production designer Dick Kelsey on August the 31st, 1948, where it was referred to as the Mickey Mouse Park, based on notes Walt had made during his and Ward Kimball's trip to Chicago Railroad Fair that same month, with a 2-day stop in Henry Ford's Museum and the Greenfield Village, a place with attractions like Main Street and steamboat rides. Arrow Development was an amusement park ride and roller coaster designer and manufacturing company that started in California on November the 16th, 1945, and based in Mountain View. Arrow was founded by Angus Andy Anderson, Carl Bacon, William Hardiman, and Edgar Morgan, and was originally located at 243 Moffett Boulevard. They later relocated to a larger facility at 1555 Plymouth Street after Walt Disney Productions purchased 1/3 of Arrow in 1960. Between 1953 and 1971, Arrow would be instrumental in designing and developing over a dozen ride systems and vehicles for Disney. 6 of the opening day rides at Disneyland were made by Arrow, including the Mad Tea Party, King Arthur's Carousel, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Casey Jr.'s Circus Train, and Snow White's Scary Adventure. Original plans for Disneyland show that there was supposed to be an Alice in Wonderland walkthrough attraction for the opening of July the 17th, 1955. But because of time and budgetary restrictions, this forced the planners to defer the attraction, and the designated space was instead occupied by Fantasyland Theatre. It wasn't until 3 years later, on June the 14th, 1958, that the Alice in Wonderland ride would open. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is an amusement park situated along the Fylde coast in Blackpool, Lancashire, England. The park was founded in 1896 and has been owned and operated by the Thompson family ever since, and is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the United Kingdom, as well as one of the top 20 most visited amusement parks in the world. Prior to the opening of Disneyland, the Walt Disney Company regularly visited the Pleasure Beach, Blackpool, and was one of the few parks which became the basis for the first Disneyland park in Anaheim, California. Walt Disney formed a friendship with the then general manager of Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Leonard Thompson, and the two would regularly inspire one another in developing their respective parks. Apparently, Walt Disney loved the atmosphere and what they were trying to do at Blackpool Pleasure Beach with a slightly more upmarket aim than most common fun fairs that had been around up until then. He was, in fact, so inspired, he gave permission to the Thompsons and the park to use Alice in Wonderland ride, and they went back to the US, and well, the rest is history. Quite incredible now to think that Blackpool Pleasure Beach was in fact perhaps a large inspiration for all the Disney theme parks of today. Many people around the world are familiar with the Alice in Wonderland attraction constructed by Arrow Development at Disneyland, but it is little known that in the late 50s they also crossed the Atlantic Ocean to construct another Alice ride, this time for the Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Records indicate the rights to do this attraction were licensed from Disney before it opened in 1961. An article on our development in the Sunday, September the 2nd, 1962 edition of the San Jose Mercury News described the attraction as the English Alice. The ride opened in 1961 at a cost of £50,000. As with Disney, Arrow will provide other ride systems to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, including the Steeplechase and the Pepsi Max Big One roller coaster, which opened in 1994. The Alice in Wonderland attraction at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, or the Alice Ride as it is known by now, is still in full operational use to this very present day. And I also believe that it is the now Managing Director Amanda Thompson's favourite attraction on the amusement park and is often referred to as Amanda's baby. Also, on a final note, the word is that the Alice Ride was essentially a present from Walt Disney to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And now, take a ride with me on this beloved attraction with some footage I recorded when I last visited the amusement park in May 2018.
Blackpool